All right, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Nigerians from all over the world, you are welcome to this first October episode of The Truth with Ben Jokes, your favorite political talk show. Of course, it is the first day of October, our so-called Independence Day, and the mood in Nigeria right now is tensed, awkward, and bitter. The truth has to be told. This country, as it is right now, is nothing to write home about. Numbers don't lie. If you look at all the indices pre-independence and you compare them to what we have today in Nigeria, you will almost weep. Because Naira alone at a point was higher than the dollar pre-independence. Today, it is 1,700 Naira to a dollar. The Naira has become worthless. What a disaster. And the worst thing is the hopelessness, because there are no signs that things would get better in this country. So instead of celebrating on the 1st of October, Nigerians took to the streets in some of the cities, including Lagos and Abuja, to protest against the failure, the massive failure of governance in Nigeria. Nigerians trooped to the streets in Lagos, chanting Tinubu Ole, and raining all manner of curses on Tinubu and his administration. And even in Abuja, the state capital, it is frustration, protests, and curses all the way. Before I show you these videos and how Nigerians reacted, let me quickly show you a part of Tinubu's broadcast. And as usual, it was a boring recorded speech full of lies and propaganda. But on this occasion, one major lie stood out. This lie turned the Nigerian media space inside out. Tinubu claimed that his reforms have attracted $30 billion in foreign direct investment into Nigeria. $30 billion is capable of crashing the dollar to about 350 naira or 400 naira to a dollar. It is sitting at 1,700 naira to a dollar. Yet, the handlers of Tinubu had the effrontery to write in that speech that their reforms had attracted $30 billion, and Nigerians came down heavily on them. Even his supporters were disappointed at those who wrote that speech. See the video.
And retooling to serve us better and more sustainably. If we do not correct the physical misalignment that led to the current economic downturn, our country will face an uncertain future and the peril of unimaginable consequences. Thanks to the reform, our country attracted foreign direct investment worth more than $30 billion in the last year. Fellow compatriots, our administration is committed to free enterprises, free entry, and free exit in investment, while maintaining the sanctity and efficacy of our regulatory processes.
Let me stop here. I see no reason to further bore you with that speech. It's so boring. He said he's correcting the physical misalignments that led Nigeria to where we are. So you are correcting the physical misalignments by making people to drop out of school, by making people to resign from their jobs because the salaries can no longer cover the transport fares. You are destroying every sector of the economy, and you say you are correcting the physical misalignments, that you want to prevent further danger. What danger is more than what is going on in this country presently? Someone, maybe Bayo Ononuga or Gbajabiamila or both, will just sit down in one corner and put something together for Tinubu to read to himself. Then they will come out and broadcast it to Nigeria as a speech. Only idiots will believe anything contained in that write-up. What kind of calamity has come upon this country like this? And of course, you heard when he said the reform of his administration has attracted $30 billion. $30 billion in foreign direct investment, FDI. Yet you took a loan of $1.5 billion from World Bank yesterday. $30 billion came into this country in the last 12 months. And Naira fell from 750 Naira to a dollar to the 1,700 Naira to a dollar that it is today. Why do these APC guys lie without conscience like this? And look at how Nigerians reacted. Let's take some of the tweet reactions. This tweet here by Queen B says, "This man is living in an alternative reality. He said his reforms have attracted over $30 billion, but couldn't mention one of those investments. No be juju be that. Oh." And JE here says, "Una get time to listen to lies on the first day of the month. Just go back to sleep, wake up and pray that God shouldn't bring Linus to your way this month. I am telling you, just lies upon lies." And Ajiji here says, $30 billion in turnover or actual growth volume. I think that Tinubu has no clue about the economy. He is simply reading what his team scribbled for him. $30 billion will crash dollar to $1 to 300 naira overnight. That is it. They don't even know the impact of $30 billion on this economy. You can't have such amount of money invested into this economy over the last 12 months and the economy will be this bad. And Innocent replied, he said, "Nigeria has a huge amount of $30 billion and yet going around borrowing money from the world. God will punish them for lying against this country." And Ajiji says, "I can bet that the person who scribbled the content does not understand what $30 billion means to an economy. Even JP Morgan will be shocked." That is it. And this tells you the caliber of people that are in charge of this country. That's why this country is like this. And this tweet here by Willie says, "The man hallucinates during every public holiday. As he reads out speeches he is barely saying for the first time, completely out of touch with reality." And Tunde Alobe says, "You attracted $30 billion inflow. Backlog of $7 billion FX settled. Import bill drastically reduced. Foreign reserve improved. Yet, Naira is losing value. To many Nigerians, the so-called reform is not yielding positive results. That is the reality. There's nothing like reforms here. These people are just deceiving Nigerians." Now, let us take videos of those protests from Lagos and Abuja. Let's start by taking the video from the protest in Lagos State, where during a massive march, massive street walk, protesters switched from Tinubu Ole chant to Tinubu na goat omo to other derogatory hunger songs. See the video. saw that. Tinubu, Sanwo, Akpabio, WIKE, all being mentioned there and referred to as Ole by angry Lagosians. The situation of this country has completely gone out of hand and Nigerians must not relent. Protest has to become a daily affair in this country to the point that we will shut down the National Assembly and even Aso Rock. Because as this regime proceeds into the second and third year, I am telling you, things are going to get worse. None of these politicians means well. Some people are talking about cabinet reshufflement because you think that the problem is only about not knowing what to do. Yes, I know that that is part of it, but that is not the only problem. The major problem is that they come in with selfish aim. The executives, the National Assembly members, all of them are just trying to enrich themselves. So no matter the technocrat you bring into this system, nothing will change. And it is until the people rise that we can begin to see a better Nigeria. Let's take a video from one of the protest points in FCT, Abuja.
The Nigerian government wants to repress, suppress, oppress the Nigerian people to the point that they become so scared of expressing their fundamental rights. They want to press all voices of dissent. But Nigerians today are letting the government know by our action here that our voices can never be silenced. If the government is as irresponsible as it has brought us this low, the government should not expect us to keep quiet in our penury, our suffering, insecurity, bad leadership in every sector, bad healthcare system, bad educational system. Yaya Bello is stealing from one side, Emefiele is stealing from one side, Tinubu has a refinery somewhere. They are all doing us gimmicks. The bag of rice now is about 100,000 naira. Yes, we are buying fuel over 1,000 naira. And you say it's not enough to come out and express our grievances? No. What are we saying? We are hungry. What are we saying? We are hungry. What are we saying? We are hungry.
You heard that. We are hungry chants in the FCT Abuja, in Lagos, and all over Nigeria. And you know, there are some foolish Nigerians. They delude themselves by saying that, oh, the man is not aware, Tinubu is not aware of the state of things. And to those Nigerians, I have brought this video so that you can see all the things that you claim that the administration is not aware of. They are very much aware of. They just don't have a solution to things. As a matter of fact, they are happy with the state of things because it is the same empty promises upon empty promises. See this video.
Fellow Nigerians, as I address you today, I am deeply aware of the struggles many of you face in these challenging times. Our administration knows that many of you struggle with rising costs and the search for meaningful employment. I want to assure you that your voices are heard. As your president, I assure you that we are committed to finding sustainable solutions to alleviate the suffering of our citizens. Once again, I plead for your patience as the reforms we are implementing show positive signs, and we are beginning to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Exactly 64 years ago, our founding fathers chose democracy as a form of government and launched the dream of a great country that would lead the rest of Africa out of poverty, ignorance, and underdevelopment. A beacon of hope for the rest of Africa and the world.
You heard that. That was part of Tinubu's speech this morning. He is aware of your struggle to find jobs. He is aware of your struggle with the rising cost of living. So the whole delusion should stop. Where some people will come out and claim that certain persons are not aware. Something will happen somewhere. They'll say, oh, Tinubu is not aware. Let us just keep all that aside. He is aware of all that is happening in this country. And I dare say it is deliberate. Because if it weren't deliberate, some things would not have happened, those ones that came directly from them. For instance, when they were trying to begin the coastal road project from Lagos to Calabar, there were several warnings. They said this thing is not necessary now. You are going to bring down a $200 million investment to carry out a project that is going to span over 20 years. What do you need that for? And you are saying that the country is short of funds. Why are you bringing up a project that does not have an immediate impact on the economy? He went ahead with the project because his son is involved. And that same person turns around to tell you that he's doing everything possible to turn the economy around. You should have a brain and know that that is not true. Last year, UNESCO came out with a figure. They said Nigeria had over 18 million out of school children. For any serious government, what you should be doing will be anything to make sure that that figure reduces. Anything positive to make sure that that figure reduces. Now, even if you cannot do something to make sure that the figure reduces, should you be embarking on any policy that can make that figure increase? No, you shouldn't. No serious government will do so. But what did these guys do? They turned around and began to increase school fees, pulled out subsidy from education. And that has seen the figure of out of school children increase tremendously in this country. By the time UNESCO is going to come out with the next figure, I don't know, they may be talking 30 million. And even at the tertiary level, many people are dropping out of universities because school fees have doubled, tripled, and quadrupled in many schools. And there were warnings against all these things. They told them these are the effects of these policies. These ones are not needed. They went ahead and did them. How about the increase in import duties and the increase in interest rates? Interest rate in Nigeria now, if you want to take a loan in this country now, is around 32%. I was speaking with a banker yesterday. It's around 32% in this country now. There is no bigger way to discourage investments than to prevent people from being able to borrow. If people can't take loans, how would they do businesses? And then you want to turn around and tell me that you are working on fixing the economy when you are discouraging entrepreneurship. How does that even make sense? So we are not giving to the things that they say. We look at the real figures on ground. What is the actual situation on ground? What are the numbers saying? And that is how every reasonable human being should think. You still find some foolish Nigerians coming out trying to defend government when the numbers don't add up at all. No, Nigerians, you need to snap out of this foolishness. And again, we need to develop the lever. Some people have come out protesting against bad governance on this 1st of October. I encourage more Nigerians to join them because this is the only way Nigerians can pull themselves out of this quagmire, out of this poverty. Because the ruling class will never hand Nigerians the freedom that they desire and the freedom that they demand. This freedom must be taken by force, and Nigerians must cast aside sentiments and come together and put their foot down and begin to demand for a better country. But until then, make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because of una na I dey here. So don't go away. Don't go away.